You should do a comparison of how Hitler, Mussolini, etc. specifically qualified each of Umberto Eco's 14 signs so people who still don't understand see the comparison to them and Trump right in front of them. Well, I'd like to do that, but it would take a lot of time. The main thing to understand, though, is that what Trump does is that he hearkens to an idealized or unrealistic version of the past. Make America great again. But when you ask him for details or metrics as to what makes America great in the first place, he's very vague on the details. When you ask what time period he's referring to, he's again very vague on the details because there's no substance to it. It is a very simple sales pitch that is based on a false understanding of what the United States used to be. But how do you preach a message with no substance? How do you avoid scrutiny? It's simple. You undermine the truth. And what Trump has done is that he has attempted to dismantle institutions of truth, usually the press, by calling them fake news or propaganda machines, by discrediting them or undermining them in the process. And the reason for this is because if people can't discern what is true or false, your message has more credibility, but also people become more tired as a result of trying to sift through information. And the thing about fascism is that it's very effective when it presents a very simple narrative in a very complicated world. This happened in post-World War I Germany. People were frustrated with the hyperinflation in Germany by the lack of opportunity, but they didn't really know why it was happening. It was a very complex problem, and Hitler presented a very simple narrative. It was all the fault of the Untermenschen. And the thing is that Trump has done the same thing. He blames the immigrants for causing all the problems in the United States. He blames the radical left mob for all the problems in the United States. That's why I don't hesitate to call Trump a fascist, because he relies on his followers not having a firm grip on truth and understanding, to the point of where he will contradict himself. But even then, he suppresses his opposition. He has taken away press credentials for journalists. He has taken away Secret Service detail for politicians who need it. He has fired people like Doug Emhoff from the Holocaust Museum for no reason other than a personal vendetta. When it comes to the economy, he is trying to unilaterally control it. That is why there has been a state of emergency declaration since February 1st that allows him to unilaterally control tariffs without congressional approval. That is why he hasn't been able to pass a budget despite having a Republican Congress ever since he has entered office. These are all very similar techniques to what Hitler and Mussolini did in the 20th century. They appealed to an idealized or romanticized version of the past. They appealed to disenfranchised young men. They typically had one specific demographic that they could scapegoat for all of their problems. They tried to unilaterally control the economy, and they had a cult of personality.